Welcome to the Principal Podcast, where we talk about how the best professional services firms grow. Whether you're looking to scale your firm or learn from the stories of founders and leaders who've done it, you're in the right place. Join us as we interview the best leaders in professional services. Let's get on with the show. Jeff, welcome to the Principal Podcast. Happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
It is my... Let's jump straight into it. What got you into building results on purpose? What's the story?
Well, the story was a little bit of an accident, but I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. I've had a few W-2 jobs where I've actually been an employee that lasted about 4 or 5 years each, but most of my career I've been on my own. And what got me into this was the last company that I actually worked for got purchased. And so I left that company. I wasn't sure what my next thing was going to be. And I got a call from someone in a different part of the country that had been referred to a friend of mine, or by a friend of mine. They had just met at a conference. He had some business challenges. This friend told him to give me a call. I said I'd go meet with this leadership team. We did that. We started an engagement, and we went from there. And at the time, that was a small company. It was about $3 million in annual revenue, but they had 45 employees. And in about 9 quarters of working with them, they went to 9 million and down to 15 employees. So we made quite a transformation. And along the way, he started sharing with other people what was happening. And now I've got a business.
Your classic consulting firm building 101. Start with someone you know, do an excellent job. Exactly. So what's the problem that you help people solve today? What is it that you're helping them achieve exactly?
Well, most businesses that come talk to me are, feel stuck a little bit. Most of them are good companies, but they want to be a lot bigger. They know there's a lot more potential in their organization. And that's why they reach out or why they get referred to me in the first place. In truth, what I'm really helping them with is to personally grow. We always say that the growth of the business is preceded by the growth of its owner and his or her leaders.
Oh, yeah.
So using the system, the coaching, the tools, we are growing and expanding the business, making things more fun, but it's all because those owners and leaders are personally growing.
No. Love that. Couldn't agree more. There is just so much that just a business can take you. And at the end of the day, it is a reflection of, the personal growth and the skill sets of the leaders and the leadership team.
Yeah. To riff on that just for a moment.
Go for it.
Well, mostly what people need to learn in life and as business leaders is that you get what you tolerate. And we have to learn what it is that we're tolerating that's keeping us from getting where we want to go. It might be a relationship. It might be habits. In business, what many of them are dealing with are employees that have been around for a long time and the business has outgrown those employees, and they're tolerating that. So in a nutshell, figuring out what you're tolerating, trying to set boundaries around it, fix it.
I like the way you phrase it. You get what you tolerate. My mentor goes with you get what you deserve, which is a reflection of your actions and skill set. You get what you tolerate is very good as well. Is there a particular niche, industry, company size, vertical that you're typically helping? Who is it that that Jeff Garrison helps?
So there's not a particular niche, and it's because all businesses, regardless of what industry you're in, the issues at the leadership level are the same. They all boil down to people issues. Now, I personally work with professional services, finance, manufacturing, construction. So it's been all over the board, but no matter what the industry at that leadership team level, it does all boil down to people stuff. In terms of the size of businesses that I work with, I have worked with startups on up to 100 million in annual revenue. Really, that sweet spot where most companies need somebody like me is really that $5 to $25 million annual revenue area. Earlier, if they're ready. So,
yeah, that makes sense. My question when I talk to people who are industry agnostic is usually always the same, which is, Jeff, let's assume you needed back surgery, right? And you had the options between two surgeons. Surgeon number one, brilliant, 10,000 surgeries, has done brain, knee, hip, heart, gut surgeries, whatever we say. Second surgeon has done 10,000 surgeries as well, all back surgeries. Who are you to go for, and why are you willing to pay a premium for the second one? So
yeah,
I get at the end of the day, businesses face people problem, and people are the same wherever they are. I think decision makers also like to see the people that they are getting help from. They like to see that they've helped other people like them. So how do you think about branding, marketing? I'm not talking about sales just yet, but really like, how do you get in front of the right people when you can serve finance, manufacturing, professional services, regardless of the industry? That was a long question. Hopefully it makes sense.
Yeah. So this is a marketing question. Then, how do I position myself if we'll work with everybody? That's what you're asking.
You are much better off at summarizing my questions, yes, than I am.
All right. Well, again, we frame it as people issues, leadership growth issues. I appreciate your analogy, and if I was going for surgery, I would go for the specialist. But the way I would position what I do is I'm not working on a particular industry. I'm working on the people that industry. And so somebody who understands people and leadership is really what kind of specialty is needed in this. Also, I'll tell you, because I don't know everything about a particular niche, I don't walk in as the expert in a niche. I get to ask the dumb questions that an expert in a niche may not ask. The dumb questions that need to be asked.
Yeah, I like that. And more often than not, I'm sure you know that those are not dumb questions. So that's for the positioning. Makes sense. I mean, and I understand, right? It's just always interesting to see how people respond to that, because like, yes, and this is why, and here is how it works. And I like it because lots of people listening to us right now will be in the same situation. So that's positioning. Tell me about your acquisition channels. What has worked for you to get the attention of this? I'm assuming you're dealing with the founders/owners most of the time, potentially C-suite members, right? So what has worked for you to get the attention of those people marketing-wise? Can you tell us more about that?
When I'm generally asked about that, I'll tell people my business has been pretty much referral only since I began 11 years ago. But that's not a complete answer, because I have been active on social media. And of course, social media has changed a lot over the last decade.
Oh yeah.
But I've stayed mostly active on LinkedIn, and we've done a fair amount of video. And honestly, we've sort of been in and out, but I can notice the difference when I'm out versus when I'm in, really active. And so when I say everything's been by referral, I know people are checking on us before they ever have a conversation. But more importantly, the stuff that we do, the content that we create, and then the engagement that we have on social media reminds my own clients and my own network that we're there and what we're doing. And that's, I got to believe, one of the biggest reasons we get the referrals is because we keep reminding our own clients what we do and our own friends what we do, and that we're out here and ready for business.
Why social media? What motivated you to post some stuff on those platforms in the first place?
Probably in the beginning, curiosity, and it's kind of fun. I enjoy creating the content. I enjoy doing that stuff, but also it's cost effective. It's you can do it for free.
Yeah.
You can invest in doing it better or more widespread, but it's the cost effective option.
Yeah.
Any other form of advertising, you have to lay out money, and you've probably heard that only half of the marketing you do works. The problem is figuring out which half, right? So
true. Is that a people problem though? The fact that only half of the marketing works?
It could be.
I'm messing with you. Makes sense. So obviously, word of mouth referrals for me is a symptom of a very good product, right? People talk about it, and you just get business like this. Makes sense. We like to see an acquisition channel on top, or at least a branding channel, especially in our day and age, right, where anyone can claim anything out there on the internet. So it's good to show people that you're live and talk about stuff that you're expert on. How do you tie all this to revenue? So how do you take a referral, attention on social media, from that attention to a conversation, a sales conversation, an SOW, a letter of engagement, we rock and roll? How does sales motion look like for you, Jeff?
So it's generally the inbound call, or it's the referral. What I have not done well in the past is good nurturing over time. It's more about me following up. So I can't really speak to that. But when I do get into the conversation, it is the conversation that converts people to a client. That conversation, I've been doing this for a long time, and not just this business, but I had a recruiting firm for near a decade, and that's basically sales. Whether you're talking to candidates or talking to companies, it's sales, but it's really a matching business. And the only way to understand if you have a match, whether it's in recruiting or any other type of services that you're providing or whatever you're selling, is to really understand what the prospect wants, right? So it's the way I convert, if a conversion is the right thing to do, is help with my questions, help that prospect paint a picture of their future, and understand what the challenges are and what assets they have going into it. And if they like the picture they've painted, typically through the questions I ask, they start to believe I can help close the gap. And so, then they'll naturally ask, well, how does this work?
Mm-hmm.
So I get to answer that question. This is really a nutshell version of it. But if at the end they believe in their own vision and believe that I can help them close the gap on that with our coaching,
Mm-hmm.
and if the way I work fits how they would like to work with someone, then we pretty much set a date to get going.
Helping them paint their picture. Helping them paint their future with my questions. Another quote that I might borrow from you, Jeff. This is
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
I like it. This is what sales is about, right? It's making it crystal clear for the prospect where is it that they are right now, where is it that they want to go, and lighting up a path to get there. And then if that makes sense, you can accompany them on that path.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
I should say though, it's not gimmicky. There's no tricks, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can be that kind of salesperson, but if you're doing the right thing, if you're asking questions and genuinely
Mm-hmm.
listening to people, this is also how you start to build trust. I'm really making the conversation about that other person.
Yeah.
And when they're ready to hear me talk, they'll ask me questions and I'll answer the questions.
I mean, really, in our day and age, high 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures projects, I don't even know if you can be gimmicky, slimmy, slicey as a sales anymore. Like, trust is so hardly gained anyways, that even if we're talking about another acquisition channel, right? Not necessarily referrals, but cold outreach, LinkedIn, conferences, whatever it is. I think you need to be able to establish trust and authority as you build the funnel and the sales relationship. Nobody's going to be rushed into signing a 6-figure deal. I mean, I've not that I've seen, at least. Maybe it exists. I don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it and you're listening to this, let me know. I won't apply it, but curious.
It sounds like a disaster to me. So I
Right.
don't know.
Recipe for disaster. You're totally right. Talk to me about retention then. So you help them see their future. You highlight a path for them. You start walking with them and walking them through that path. How do you think about client retention? Like solving the next problem and the next problem and the next problem. How do you think about that?
So, the short answer is be a good coach, do good work. But when it's a fit and, if we've done things right, most of the time it is a fit. My clients tend to last 5-6 years, a long time. And so it's, we build a level of trust that me or any good coach becomes that sounding board, that person that they can talk to, the person who will speak truth to them when they don't want to hear it. A good coach doesn't worry about losing the business by saying the hard stuff. Frankly, that's how you keep it if you need to. And I'll tell you, as an entrepreneur, can appreciate this. It's a very lonely thing to be an entrepreneur. To be the owner of a business is very lonely. Few people get it, and it's pretty much only other entrepreneurs. Family doesn't quite get it, what it's like to be in that seat. Your senior staff doesn't quite get what it's like to be in that seat. So, being one of those people that they can trust, that they can count on, that they can be transparent and vulnerable with. And so you have to be the right person for that. And if you are, you're going to retain the business.
Amen to that. I like your style, Jeff.
Oh, well, thank you.
So wait, there is something coming.
Okay.
So I'm gonna throw a little bit of a curveball question at you. What is your number one challenge right now? What is the one nut that you're trying to crack that you know once you crack, you're gonna take the whole thing to the next level? What would that be for you?
So I don't know if this is kind of a cop out when I answer it this
Give us the
way.
cop out.
Yeah. So uh, it is time. It's
Uh-huh.
always, it's time, but that's not entirely accurate because there's always time to do the most important thing today, if you'll make it the most important thing,
That
or
is so
the
good.
most important thing this week. So
Yeah.
as I'm growing my business and launching a new platform, I, like every other entrepreneur, have to discern what is the most important thing today amongst all the noise
Yeah.
that's out there, and the people needing your attention and things like that. How do you discern what's most important and get it done, and then be okay with some things not getting done now or maybe ever?
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if that's a sort of a cop out answer, because that's what everybody faces. That's not necessarily personal to me.
I mean, I don't think that's a cop out. I mean, to use your own terms, right? This is the entrepreneur's life, and it's all a matter of when you start a company, when you start a business, and a people-heavy business like professional services, your number one resource is time, and it's all up to where you allocate it. What's the best opportunity vehicle to allocate your time? And figuring out as you grow where to put that time is the number one challenge. So let me ask you this: maybe how are you thinking about solving that challenge, figuring out what deserves the prioritization of your time,
Mm-hmm.
and how to allocate it properly? How are you thinking about that?
Well, we are moving to a licensed coach program ourselves, and so this will allow people who would like to do what I do but not on their own to license our program. And I know we're not here to talk about that, but that's my uh, the investing the time now to make that happen is will start to free some of my time up in the
Yeah.
future. So how I'm sort of solving the problem today, mostly by making the problem bigger temporarily so that we can get past it.
It becomes so painful that we need to solve it now, and then we're rid of it. I like it. On the other side of the coin, what's a big opportunity that you see that you're looking forward to work on in the next, say, 3 to 6 months?
Um, well, of course, yeah, continuing to launch what we're doing, but uh, today, uh, for someone who wants to be a coach, whether it was results on purpose or something else, I think it's a really exciting time
Hmm.
for that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this is for everybody who wants to be one or who wants to use one in whatever it is. And I would say it's exciting because one, over the years, I have seen more and more people open to being coached,
Yeah.
which historically in the U.S. we've got the pull yourself up by your own bootstraps culture, that mindset, which is not true, by the way. Nobody's ever done anything extraordinary all by themselves. They've always
Amen.
had help, even when they don't know it. Someone has cleared the path for them or given them a boost. But today, people are more open to collaborating or and using a coach.
Hmm.
But at the same time, there's more noise and distractions, right? More than there's ever been. And so as smart as we are today, we still, need the skills of someone else to help us focus, to bring discernment, to bring accountability, maybe wisdom that they have from, their years of being in a business, whatever it is. So, I feel like these few things are colliding to just make the future awesome.
Yeah. You make me think of a guest that I've interviewed maybe 6-8 months ago. And she was like, 25 years ago, you would hear someone, oh, you have a coach? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And she was like, and today it's more like, oh, you don't have a coach? What's wrong with you? But at the same time, the number of coaches have multiplied, or at least let me put it this way. The number of people claiming to be coaches has exploded.
Yeah.
And back to what we said, right? There is more noise than ever. It's hard to build trust, hard to build authority, which is why when it's done right, people are winning. But I like that. Jeff Garrison, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff, thank you so much for coming on the Principal Podcast. If people want to find out more about you, see what you do, where should they go?
They should go to resultsonpurpose.com.
Great name.
Also find me on LinkedIn. Search for Results on Purpose or search for Jeff Garrison, and I'll be there.
We'll put all the links in the description. I can say one thing for sure. It's that you've gained at least one new connection on LinkedIn out of this podcast, Jeff. Me, I see that we are now connected. Thank you so much for coming on the Principal Podcast.
I appreciate the invite. This was excellent.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Principal Podcast. We hope you've learned valuable lessons and strategies to grow your firm and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.